Imagine you're walking alone at night, and suddenly, an unshakable feeling of danger creeps in. You don't see anything, you don't hear anything, but something deep inside tells you to turn back. Moments later, you hear about an incident that happened just ahead on the same path. Was it just coincidence, or did something beyond the five senses warn you? Throughout history, people have reported unexplained feelings, sudden gut instincts, and eerie premonitions that turned out to be true. Some call it intuition, others call it a sixth sense. But what if this isn't just a superstition? What if science is beginning to uncover the truth behind this mysterious ability? Scientists have long believed that humans operate solely within the boundaries of the five known senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. But what if there's another sense, one that we've lost or simply don't understand yet? Research shows that the human brain processes much more information than we're consciously aware of. Some theories suggest that our subconscious mind picks up hidden signals from our environment before we even realize it. But is that all there is to it? Or is there a deeper, more mysterious force at play? In this video, we'll explore the fascinating world of human intuition, real scientific studies, secret government experiments, and eerie cases of people predicting the future. And by the end, you might start questioning everything you thought you knew about reality. For years, intuition has been dismissed as nothing more than a gut feeling or a coincidence. But modern research suggests that there's much more to it than just instinct. Scientists have discovered that the brain is constantly gathering and processing information, even when we're not consciously aware of it. This hidden awareness often manifests as intuition, a sudden feeling, an unexplained knowing, or an inner voice guiding us toward the right decision. Studies in neuroscience reveal that the subconscious mind processes vast amounts of data, picking up on subtle environmental cues that the conscious brain overlooks. In a famous study, participants were shown images of random events, some of which were emotionally charged, like a disturbing or happy scene. What shocked researchers was that the participants' heart rates and brain activity responded to these images before they actually saw them, almost as if their bodies knew what was coming. Another field exploring this phenomenon is predictive processing. Our brains, based on past experiences and patterns, anticipate what will happen next, sometimes with astonishing accuracy. But is intuition simply the result of fast, unconscious calculations? Or is there something more mysterious going on? Something that suggests humans have access to a hidden level of perception beyond the physical senses. While some scientists explain intuition as a product of subconscious data processing, others believe it could be linked to something even bigger, something that defies traditional explanations. And this is where things start to get really interesting. For decades, governments and scientific institutions have quietly studied human intuition, often under classified projects hidden from the public eye. Some of these experiments produced results so astonishing that they challenge everything we know about human perception. Could the sixth sense be real? And if so, why is this knowledge not widely discussed? One of the most well-known secret programs was Project Stargate, a U.S. government initiative during the Cold War that explored psychic abilities, including remote viewing, the ability to see distant locations without being physically present. Declassified documents reveal that trained individuals were able to describe secret military bases, hidden objects, and even enemy movements with alarming accuracy. The CIA eventually shut down the project, but not before some startling findings raised questions about the true potential of the human mind. Then there's the HeartMath Institute's research, which suggests that the human heart, not just the brain, plays a major role in intuition. Their studies found that the heart often reacts to future events before they happen, even before the brain processes any information. In an experiment, participants were shown randomly selected images, some neutral, some emotional. What shocked researchers was that their heart rates and nervous systems responded seconds before the emotional images appeared, as if the body was anticipating the future. Another experiment, known as the feeling of being watched study, tested whether humans could sense when someone was staring at them, even without visual or auditory clues. Results showed that people often reacted at a subconscious level, proving that some form of unseen awareness was at play. These experiments hint at something extraordinary, something science can measure but still struggles to fully explain. If our minds can pick up information beyond our five senses, does this mean we have an ability that has been ignored, or even suppressed, for generations? And if governments were willing to invest millions into researching this phenomenon, what else might they know that we don't? Throughout history, animals have displayed an uncanny ability to sense danger, predict natural disasters, and detect unseen forces. Science has documented cases where dogs, cats, birds, and even insects have responded to events before they happened. But what about humans? Did we once possess a similar ability, one that has been dulled by modern life? Studies show that animals can detect earthquakes, tsunamis, and even illnesses long before humans are aware of them. In 2004, before the devastating tsunami in the Indian Ocean, animals in affected areas were seen fleeing to higher ground hours before the waves struck. Birds changed their flight patterns, elephants moved inland, and dogs refused to go outside. Scientists believe they may have sensed subtle vibrations or electromagnetic shifts in the environment, an instinctive warning system that helped them survive. Similarly, dogs have been known to detect cancer and other diseases in humans simply by sniffing their owners. Some can even predict seizures before they happen, alerting their owners in advance. This suggests that animals possess a heightened awareness, one that goes beyond the five traditional senses. But what about humans? Some researchers believe that early humans once had this ability, allowing them to sense danger and navigate their environment with heightened awareness. Over time, as civilization advanced and reliance on technology increased, this ability may have faded. However, certain individuals, like experienced trackers, monks practicing deep meditation, or those with heightened intuition, still seem to tap into this lost sense. If animals can instinctively detect threats and predict events, could it be possible that humans, too, have a dormant sixth sense waiting to be reawakened? And if so, what would happen if we learned to harness it once again? For centuries, ancient civilizations have believed that a hidden gateway exists within the human body, one that allows us to perceive reality beyond the physical world. This mysterious organ is the pineal gland, often referred to as the third eye. But is there any scientific basis for this idea? And could the pineal gland be the key to unlocking our sixth sense? The pineal gland is a tiny pea-shaped structure deep within the brain, responsible for regulating sleep, circadian rhythms, and producing melatonin, the hormone that controls our wake-sleep cycle. However, many researchers believe that its function goes beyond just sleep regulation. Studies have shown that the pineal gland is light-sensitive, just like the eyes, despite being buried deep inside the brain. Some theories suggest that it could act as a biological antenna, receiving unseen information from the world around us. Ancient cultures, from the Egyptians to the Hindus, believed the pineal gland was the seat of the soul, an organ capable of perceiving higher dimensions. In Hinduism, it is symbolized as the Ajna chakra, or the third eye, associated with intuition and enlightenment. The Egyptians even depicted this gland in their artwork, most notably in the form of the Eye of Horus, which closely resembles the pineal gland structure. Modern studies also hint at a deeper mystery. Some scientists suggest that the pineal gland produces DMT, dimethyltryptamine, a powerful hallucinogenic compound sometimes referred to as the spirit molecule. DMT has been linked to mystical experiences, near-death encounters, and profound states of consciousness. Could it be that the pineal gland allows humans to access hidden realms of perception, realms that science is only beginning to explore? Another intriguing discovery is that certain animals, such as birds and reptiles, use an internal navigation system believed to be connected to the pineal gland. This allows them to sense magnetic fields and navigate vast distances, If animals can use this gland to detect the invisible forces of nature, could humans have once used it in a similar way? Perhaps to sense danger, receive intuitive messages, or even access knowledge beyond time and space. However, there's a problem. In modern society, the pineal gland is increasingly calcified, meaning it becomes hardened and less functional over time. This has been linked to fluoride exposure, processed foods, and environmental toxins. Some believe that this calcification suppresses intuition, disconnecting us from our natural ability to sense beyond the physical world. If the pineal gland truly plays a role in human intuition, then unlocking its full potential could be the key to experiencing reality in a completely different way. But what if this knowledge has been known for centuries and intentionally kept hidden? For decades, scientists have struggled to understand the true nature of reality. Classical physics tells us that the world is made up of solid objects, governed by predictable laws. But quantum physics has shattered that idea, revealing a reality far stranger than we ever imagined. If everything is energy at its core, could our minds be tapping into a hidden field of information, one that explains intuition and the sixth sense? Quantum mechanics suggests that the universe is not as solid as it seems. At the smallest levels, everything is made up of vibrating energy fields, and particles can exist in multiple places at once until observed. This is known as the observer effect, where the mere act of consciousness seems to influence reality itself. Some scientists believe this points to a deeper truth, that consciousness and the universe are fundamentally connected. One of the most fascinating ideas comes from Rupert Sheldrake's theory of morphic resonance. He proposes that all living things are connected through an invisible field of information, a kind of collective memory that influences thoughts, instincts, and intuition. Could it be that when we experience a gut feeling or sudden knowing, we are actually tapping into this vast field of energy and knowledge? Even more astonishing is the double-slit experiment, which proved that particles behave differently depending on whether they are being observed. This suggests that consciousness itself plays a role in shaping reality. If our minds can influence the behavior of matter, could this explain why some people seem to sense the future, pick up on others' emotions, or experience synchronicities that defy logic? Another idea, known as quantum entanglement, shows that two particles can become mysteriously linked, no matter how far apart they are. Changes in one particle instantly affect the other, even across vast distances. Some researchers speculate that human intuition, like sensing a loved one is in danger or knowing something without explanation, could be a form of quantum entanglement at the level of consciousness. If the universe is made up of energy and information rather than just physical matter, then intuition might not be a mystical phenomenon at all. Instead, it could be our natural ability to access the underlying fabric of reality, one that science is only beginning to understand. But if this is true, why is it that most people remain unaware of this power? And could unlocking this hidden potential change the way we experience the world forever? Throughout history, there have been people who claim to have foreseen future events, sometimes with eerie accuracy. Are these just coincidences, or could they be tapping into a hidden ability, a sixth sense that allows them to perceive events before they unfold? From prophetic dreams to inexplicable visions, these cases challenge everything we think we know about time, consciousness, and intuition. One of the most famous examples is Morgan Robertson, an author who, in 1898, wrote a novel called Futility, or The Wreck of the Titan. His book described an unsinkable ship called the Titan that struck an iceberg and sank. 14 years later, in 1912, the Titanic disaster occurred in nearly identical circumstances. The similarities between the book and real-life tragedy were so uncanny that many believe Robertson had an unconscious ability to glimpse the future. Then there's the case of Jean Dixon, a psychic who reportedly predicted the assassination of U.S. President John F. Kennedy. In 1956, she published a warning that a Democratic president elected in 1960 would be assassinated in office. When Kennedy was shot in 1963, Many saw this as proof that she had tapped into something beyond normal perception. Some premonitions come in the form of dreams. In 1865, Abraham Lincoln allegedly told his wife about a disturbing dream in which he saw himself lying in a coffin in the White House. Days later, he was assassinated, and his funeral was held in the exact way he had described. Could this have been a warning from his subconscious, or something more mysterious? Even in modern times, people report strange cases of déjà vu, gut feelings, and sudden visions that later come true. Some scientists suggest that this could be linked to the brain processing patterns subconsciously, while others believe it could be an example of time not being as linear as we assume, a concept supported by certain quantum physics theories. If time and consciousness are more flexible than we realize, could it be possible that humans are occasionally able to see beyond the present moment? And if so, does this mean that intuition isn't just about sensing the unseen, but glimpsing into the future itself? Most people go through life relying only on their five senses, unaware that a deeper perception might be hidden within them. But what if intuition isn't just a random feeling? What if it's a skill, one that can be sharpened, strengthened, and consciously used? Many ancient traditions, and even modern science, suggest that humans have the potential to access information beyond the ordinary senses. The question is, how? The first step is awareness. Intuition works best when the mind is quiet enough to notice it. Meditation has been used for centuries to heighten perception, clear mental noise, and tune into subtle signals from the environment. Some research suggests that deep meditation can even activate the pineal gland, often linked to the body's intuitive abilities. Another key factor is paying attention to gut feelings. Studies show that the brain and the gut are deeply connected through the vagus nerve, and many intuitive responses come from the body before the mind even processes them. Learning to trust these signals, whether it's a strong feeling about a person, a sudden sense of danger, or an unexplained pull toward something, can be the difference between ignoring intuition and fully experiencing it. Spending more time in nature can also help. Ancient cultures believed that modern life dulls human perception, and many studies suggest they were right. Being surrounded by technology, artificial lights, and constant distractions weakens our connection to the natural world. People who spend time in quiet, natural environments often report stronger intuitive experiences, from sensing wildlife before seeing it to feeling shifts in the weather before they happen. Dreams are another powerful way to access hidden knowledge. Many people who have reported premonitions or deep insights say they received them in a dream. Some scientists believe this happens because the subconscious mind processes information much more freely during sleep. Keeping a dream journal and reflecting on recurring symbols can reveal patterns and messages that the waking mind tends to overlook. One of the most overlooked aspects of intuition is energy awareness. Quantum physics suggests that everything is interconnected through vibrating energy fields, and many believe that learning to sense these subtle frequencies is a way to develop the sixth sense. Some people naturally pick up on emotions, changes in a room's energy, or even premonitions about events, while others can train themselves to do so through mindfulness and focus. Perhaps the most important factor is openness. Skepticism can be healthy, but dismissing intuition entirely might shut down its potential. The more attention given to small intuitive moments, the stronger they become. Whether it's noticing synchronicities, trusting the first instinct in a situation, or practicing deep focus, unlocking intuition isn't about gaining a new ability. It's about rediscovering something that was always there. If humans truly possess a sixth sense, an ability to perceive beyond the ordinary five senses, then why is this knowledge not widely discussed? Why does modern society dismiss intuition as mere coincidence, even when science, ancient traditions, and countless personal experiences suggest otherwise? Could it be that this knowledge has been intentionally suppressed? Throughout history, powerful institutions have controlled what the masses believe about reality. Ancient civilizations openly embraced intuition, the power of the mind, and the existence of unseen energies. The Egyptians, Hindus, and even early Western philosophers spoke of a third eye and the ability to access higher states of consciousness. Yet over time, as religious and political powers sought to control populations, knowledge of these abilities became hidden, dismissed as superstition, or even labeled as heresy. Modern science, despite its advancements, often avoids topics that challenge the materialistic view of reality. Research on intuition, consciousness, and energy fields is either underfunded or dismissed as pseudoscience, even when the results suggest otherwise. Studies on the pineal gland's function beyond sleep regulation, experiments on precognition, and the government's own classified programs into psychic abilities all hint at a deeper truth, one that isn't openly acknowledged. The education system plays a role as well. From a young age, people are taught to rely solely on logic, facts, and external validation, rather than their own instincts and inner knowing. The modern world is designed to keep people distracted, overwhelmed, and disconnected from their own intuition. Constant exposure to screens, artificial environments, and processed food may also contribute to the weakening of natural perception, especially with the increasing calcification of the pineal gland due to fluoride and other environmental factors. Even in mainstream media and entertainment, intuition and psychic abilities are either portrayed as fictional or ridiculed. When someone claims to have had a premonition or an intuitive experience, they are often met with skepticism or dismissed as irrational. This creates a culture where people suppress their own experiences rather than exploring them further. But why would this knowledge be hidden? Some believe that a highly intuitive population, one that can sense deception, predict events, and tap into deeper truths, would be harder to control. If humans truly understood their own abilities, they might break free from societal conditioning and question the systems that have been in place for centuries. The biggest question remains: if intuition is real and powerful, what else has been kept from us? And what could we achieve if we fully unlock this hidden potential? If intuition is more than just a feeling, if it is a real, tangible ability that science is only beginning to understand, then everything we know about human perception, consciousness, and reality itself must be re-examined. From the pineal gland's mysterious role to quantum entanglement and hidden energy fields, the evidence suggests that the sixth sense isn't a myth but a forgotten skill, one that has been dulled by modern life, and possibly even suppressed. History, ancient wisdom, and even classified experiments hint at a power within us that goes beyond logic and reason, allowing us to perceive the unseen, sense the future, and connect with something greater than ourselves. The question is, will we continue to dismiss this ability as coincidence, or will we dare to unlock the hidden potential of our own minds?